Hey guys, welcome to Podiatry Practice Mastery. Don here. I want to go over a couple of new slides that I'm using within my patient presentations. But before that, let me tell you a little story. So recently I was reading one of these books, and it was talking about how I need other people to try things before I try things on my own, like these patient presentations, and then I have the product. But it doesn't really work that way because I need to try it out on people. So I recently sent out an email to the group that are subscribed to Podiatry Practice Mastery on my email list. And then I asked, well, who wants to do and learn patient presentations? And it's funny, I narrowed it down to people that really were interested. So basically those were at the last master class that I did, and also those that did the 30-day practice blueprint. And there was 50 people there. And I did get 2 people that were interested in learning how to do patient presentations. And so I'm going to work with those 2 over the next few weeks or months until they kind of get up and used to it. Because I want to see if these are really as good as I think they are, and how much, if they're really making other people's practice as easy as they make my practice. So that's kind of the story about the patient presentations. And the neat thing is I keep on kind of improving them with input and with mess-ups and things like that. The 2 new slides that I've put together, one I got the idea from a recent webinar we did where we were talking about arthritis, and it's basically an X and Y axis. On the X, it's a different dysfunction, and on the Y, it's the patient's age, and then there's a line where it says the symptom line. So if you want to, what I'll do is I'll put a little link, if you want to see what that slide looks like, I'll put a little link underneath here. But basically, when I'm explaining anything that is biomechanical or orthopedic, or anything that's caused that kind of gets better and worse, I'm using this slide now. And what I'm saying with this slide is that, symptoms aren't normal, and a lot of people can live their lives without symptoms. But as dysfunction increases, or as, so that could be equinus or a tight calf, it could be a flat foot, it could be a poor shoe, it could be increased activity. All of these types of things, they, over time, as people get older, could lead them into symptoms. And a lot of times what people do is they do something, they get out of symptoms, but you really can't stop the dysfunction. All of us have dysfunction. So it's a graphic that I'm using and so I'm putting it in like my Achilles tendonitis, the plantar fasciitis, and all the same. And the cool thing is if I take it from the plantar fasciitis, which is the main one that I use, and I move it to the other slides, within Google Slides you can just you can kind of clone it, and it copies it from the previous one. So if I edit the master one, which is in plantar fasciitis, it edits it for all the other ones, so I can add things to it and modify it. So that's the one slide that I'm using quite a bit now. It's actually in part of my initial slide deck. And the other slide that I'm using is a slide under the checklist. So basically the plantar fasciitis checklist, or any other checklist that I have. I've added a component of the first visit, because what I've realized is that within doing the presentations, I tend to do it more the first visit, and then I might refer to it in the other visits. But the first visit is key. And so I put a little asterisk by the ones that I do, the treatments that I typically do the first visit. So my workflow now is to go through the first visit stuff, right? The first visit treatments, put that on my pad that I'm going to kind of prescribe to them. And then I I give them the information so they can review it, and then they'll come back in 2 weeks. So everyone comes back at 2 weeks, and then we reassess how those initial things are going, unless they've already done the initial things, and then we'll go to phase 2. So those are some things. If you want to see how that works, I would join or open up your 30-day practice blueprint. I'll put a little link underneath here to the 30-day practice blueprint, and it's when I talk about patient presentations, you'll see my actual presentation, the slides for plantar fasciitis. So it'll show that the first visit ones, and and that symptom / deformity index. So it'll be on that slide. I forgot what day it is. You can look it up. It's under patient presentations. Anyway, hope you guys found this helpful. Let me know. Give me feedback. Okay, guys. Have a good one.